Good Friday evening to you all out there, and welcome into another episode of the Barking Brown Show. I'm Jacob, Mr. Casey Kitterman, and Nick Carnes down below. Brought to you as always by our friends over at SeatGeek. Final preseason game is tomorrow. It's on the road, but it's time to get your tickets for the season opener in 16 days. So go over to our friends over at SeatGeek. Use our promo code Barking Browns. Get $20 off that first purchase. And get yourself some tickets for this season. If you're watching us on Twitter or Facebook or Twitch and you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please fix that. Please go on over to the YouTube, youtube.com/@thebarkingbrowns. Give us a sub, hit that sub button, give a thumbs up, hit that bell so you can check us out every Tuesday and Friday. And we might have a third show. We don't really know what we're going to do for the season, but right now we're every Tuesdays and Fridays. So we're hanging out. Gentlemen, how are we?
Running on fumes.
Yeah.
But this right here, this is going to bring me back to life and inject some more energy into me, and I'm going to be able to at least get through the next half hour and be all in, be focused and driven.
I'll tell you what, my show prep was watching the last two Unleashed, which featured Obo Okoronkwo and Zach Zinter. And then I watched the Jameis Winston interview on the Pat McAfee show. Mm-hmm. And just all the vibes are so good. Like, just cumulatively, I'm feeling that, and I'm just so excited that we are T-minus, as one smart friend over here says, 16 days, which feels unreal to be there and to be here.
There's a show that put out a clip. I'm bringing this up because of what you just said. You talked about the vibes being good, yet there's a prominent show that is going around right now talking about the vibes not being good, saying everything around Deshaun Watson has been weird and that things are off. And I've heard some people say that. Can I ask again? Can I ask you guys? Do you feel that way? Like, I understand that the zip gate and all that stuff, it's always going to be annoying. It's going to be a little bit exhausting, but I don't really get the things are bad vibe or anything around what I've seen from the organization. Yeah, there's been some struggles and at times because that's training camp. That's why you go out there and you get that shit out of the way. But I feel pretty good about the vibes around the team. So I'm just curious if I'm just being a homer or what.
The offense has been a mixed bag since the joint practices as far as the outlook. I wasn't hearing any of that going into the joint practices. And then coming out of the joint practices, you're hearing certain people who haven't been around the team, who were around the team just for a few days, come back and they're reporting, like Diana Rossini, Ben Solak. You're seeing some guys who were just there for a brief period of time and are coming back and be like, I don't know, this doesn't look good to me, So I think that's where a lot of it's coming from. But there's only one way to shut people up.
Yeah.
Go win. You got to go win. And that's where we were anyway. That was no matter what, that's the expectation for us. So this noise to me is nothing, man. I cannot ignore the level of talent on this roster. I have adjusted my expectations. I don't think the offense is going to be gangbusters coming out the gate. It's a new system, a lot of new parts. You're going to find your way. You have a issue over on the left side. You got to adjust for it. These aren't things you can't overcome, but the defense is going to be ridiculous. I don't see another way around it. So the end game's still the same for me. I still think your ceiling is just as high. I just think it's not going to look like the Harlem Globetrotters right out the gate, and you're going to be blowing teams' doors off. But I still expect a division title. That hasn't changed.
Actually, I don't think you expect a division title because I watched All Eyes on Cleveland last night. And I did hear Casey prominently say, Nick, are you ready for this?
I am.
They were predicting playoff teams, right? Him and Brad. I'm very excited. What's the bet for? What's the loser got to do?
No, we buy someone in the chat merch.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah,
okay. Cool.
We did decide on the 53-man. Oh, Tuesday night, buddy. Tuesday.
Yeah, but boys, I won't be here Tuesday night. That's my Smashing Pumpkins concert. Told you I was going to miss. I didn't realize it was going to time up like that, but it's the 27th. So you guys are going to have to celebrate my victory without me. That's crazy. I don't feel good about that. I want to be there.
So
I'd FaceTime you from the concert just to get in on it.
Maybe we can figure something out.
But Casey last night on All Eyes on Cleveland said the Browns will be the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Wow. Whoa. That'd be a historic season. If the Browns were the number 1 seed in the AFC, that would be like nothing I've ever seen in my lifetime. Right?
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Okay. That's some Kool-Aid right there.
Yeah.
That is some Kool-Aid. And you know what? Like, I'm setting my sights on the division. Maybe I'm not doing enough. Maybe I'm not doing enough.
It starts with the division. That's where it starts. That's the mission. But along the way, and you go 12-5, and you look around, and Kansas City kind of messes around because they're going to go in cruise control because they just got to make it to the playoffs, and they're going to be Kansas City, and you get to play the Dolphins head to head. You'll control your destiny there.
So let me say this about the vibes. I think that even though Casey notably has referenced the percentage of snaps that starters have played, and it's not high, right? I don't know the exact number, but okay, 2%. There you go. So last year, I would argue that last year the vibes were high surrounding the Browns because they played well in preseason and it was exciting. You could also look at Pittsburgh and say very similar things, that the vibes were super high around them because they had a good preseason. And so even though the starters aren't playing the vast majority of snaps, I think the fact that the offense has mostly been a dud and the defense hasn't been super great is just leading to the what we're seeing on what we can actually see, right? Because there's no more open training camps. So what we can actually see has mostly been meh, right? So
Sure.
I think that majorly contributes to the vibes that people feel. Like if Dorian Thompson-Robinson threw 2 touchdowns and the Browns won, I think we would be pretty excited about that. We'd be able to talk about preseason, but because there's no tangible stats really. Like last year we were saying, Austin Watkins is leading all receivers in receiving yards, and Dorian Thompson-Robinson is doing all this great stuff. And we were talking about all these cool stats that were exciting. And it's like this year we got nothing. We got squadouche.
It's just been a giant fart.
Right.
The best thing I think that's came out of the preseason that actually means something has been Jameis Winston's pregame speeches.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That dog will hunt.
Like, if I tried to, like, run hard, my knees would blow apart. But
my God, you want to know?
Yeah, but one of them's just hanging on by a thread.
Mine's made of string cheese, so
yeah. But Jameis Winston could get me too. Like
no
he could.
I could give you 2 drives.
Yeah. Yep.
Jameis could give you 2 drives.
I think so. I mean, like that second drive's not going to be very good, but like I'll go out there.
What if he's just like a long-term piece in Cleveland's quarterback room?
I mean, I think they're going to want to be more cost effective than he's going to offer, but it would not be a bad thing if that happened.
No, and even then, like if we're being like, what's he getting paid this year? 8? Or is it 4 with incentive?
4-7.
It could be up to 8 if like certain things happen.
Yeah, let me look.
I think the base
100% worth it.
Saints
If he never plays a snap and he's just the dude that he is right now, it's worth it to have that guy. But I do agree. Like eventually, that's the reason you're developing DTR.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you want to have a more cost-effective, younger player ascending.
It's a 1.7 cap number.
What is it?
It's a 1.7 cap number because he has 4 void years on there.
That's amazing.
So he's got 1.7 cap hit this year, a 2.2 cap hit next year. And then in 26, 27, and 28, he doesn't count against the cap, but he gets a $500,000 bonus from the Browns in all 3 of those years.
So it was a 2-year deal. It wasn't a 1 year?
No, it's 1. There's 4 void.
There's just void years on the back end.
But only one of those void years actually counts against the cap.
So what's the actual price tag? How much is he actually being paid?
So the cap number is 4. 4. And you can get up to that 4.7, I think.
That's
crazy value.
Yeah.
His base salary is 1.2.
I pay him that much for the pregame speech. For real, dude. And just to have that dude on the sideline lifting everyone up.
Yep.
If Deshaun has a bad series, he can go over and sit with Jameis. Jameis gonna bring you right back up, bro. He ain't gonna let you just be down in the dumps. He's the perfect sounding board, man.
And I think one thing that really kind of shows that value, and they've asked him about this, is there was that clip that kind of went viral a little bit of what looked. Some people wanted to call it heated. I didn't think it was heated. I think it was emotionally charged with them in the end zone at training camp. And Jameis is just, it had been a trying day for the offense, and Jameis is there really not going in on Watson and being like, "Oh, you suck" or anything. Because you can tell.
Don't forget who you are.
Yeah. And you can see Watson, like, you're paying attention. Like, what your teammates, that's what they do. They're going to try to pick you up, but like, it doesn't mean you always listen to what they say. And it feels like when Jameis talks, people listen and they buy in. And I think there's value there.
He's the most engaging public speaker I've ever seen play football. Like, he commands, like, you can feel the energy coming out of him, dude. It's impossible to just be like, yeah, this guy's just going through the motions. Nah, man, he's living in every word. Like,
do you think
this is bearing the lead because he's also a very high level quarterback that if he's called upon, your ceiling is still tremendously high. But just what he gives you as a sounding board and as someone who's going to be the consummate glue guy and keep everybody laser focused, dude. I love that man.
I just want to say, okay, I went down a Jameis Winston rabbit hole earlier today.
Oh, God.
And I watched the highlights of the Saints. I think it was 43-3. They're drubbing week 1 of the Packers when Aaron Rodgers famously said, "Relax."
Oh,
and
yeah.
Jameis threw 5 touchdowns and no interceptions in that game. And before he tore his ACL that year, this is 2021, he threw 14 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, over 1,000 yards, I think in 7 games. And the Saints were winning. The Saints had a winning record.
They were 5-2.
They were 5-2. And this was right after. So I listened to Jameis talk to Pat McAfee, and he was saying that he had such trouble seeing previously that he had to use Google Maps because he couldn't read street signs before he got LASIK. Right?
And this won a fucking Heisman like that.
How?
And a natty.
So I'm just saying, okay, Jameis really found his groove, and then he tore his ACL after he had LASIK. Okay, now I get it. He hasn't had as much opportunity since, and he's been stuck behind Derek Carr. But like, what if Jameis is just like way more capable as a backup than most? Like,
he is. I think he's the most capable backup in the NFL as far as ceilings are concerned.
It's exciting to think about.
Right, whenever floor comes in, how high or how low can it's fluctuating too.
Yeah. No, look, we were celebrating to build a statue for Joe Flacco, and he was leading, lettuce and touchdowns and interceptions. Same kind of volatility, different kind of leader, more vocal. I don't know. Jameis has never had a season where he played 14 or more games and not thrown for 4,000 yards. He is a highly productive quarterback.
Like, how many backup quarterbacks have thrown for 5,000 in a season?
Jameis Winston.
Probably
Jameis Winston.
I can't imagine another one. I'm trying to think of backups real quick.
But that was also in the Huck it, Chuck it, Bruce Arians system where they were just like 30-30, threw for 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. Yeah. It wasn't the most prolific season, but that was what their offense called for. It was 7-step drops and let it go. He couldn't even see who he's thrown to.
Nope.
It's just Mike Evans is down there somewhere.
So, you know what? I have watched so many Browns quarterbacks over the years make a mistake like that and just be shaken for the rest of the game. It's just like Jameis is absolutely unflappable, right? Like, it doesn't matter if he starts the game throwing 3 interceptions. He is going to come back and throw 3 touchdowns if you let him. Like, if he gets the opportunity to do so. I'm excited. I'm excited about him. I think he's the perfect backup in Cleveland, especially because he's a little younger. I think he's 31. whereas Joe Flacco's turning 39.
39. Yeah.
39 this year,
right.
right? So let's just go down that road for a second. Let's say Jameis has to play. If Jameis is solid for you, you're saying to yourselves, we've got a quarterback here that turns 32 next year that we could reasonably sign to be a long-term answer here. I'm just saying that there's so much upside in having Jameis Winston on this roster at the age he is. I don't know. Maybe I'm sipping too much Kool-Aid. I don't know.
We got a fan question. We got a watcher question. We got a question.
All right, let's go.
Some Cedric Tillman love here. Asking the question, do you think Cedric Tillman makes the jump this year? Casey, I'll give it to you first.
Okay. Does he make the jump? No. Does he make a jump? Yes. I do think he takes a step this year. But will it be to all of a sudden he's at year number 2? I don't think so. But I think you're going to see just a more mature player. You're going to see because the physical gifts are there. That's a no-brainer. But just given what already's on this team, because you go sign a Jerry Jeudy, you got Amari Cooper, you got David Njoku, that's a lot of mouths to fill. So to expect him to have some huge statistical year, I don't think that he's going to be a guy who gives you 800 yards and 10 touchdowns. But if you're looking at a guy who can give you 500 to 600 yards and 6 touchdowns, and he's your wide receiver 3, you feel very good about that. And he's in the same boat as Elijah Moore, who could kind of give you similar production. And those numbers don't jump off the screen, but that would be a huge year because those are your wide receivers 3 and 4. And not even your 3rd and 4th options in the passing game, because Njoku should be your 2nd. So you know what I mean? There's just a ton of mouths to feed. Although I expect them to throw more than they have in the past, I don't think it's enough to support like 3 1,000-yard receivers. So I do expect a jump, but not the jump. I think the jump could be years 3 and 4.
And I think where you might see a jump is touchdown production, because I think he becomes he's such a red zone target. Just if he can utilize his size, physicality, and athleticism combination that he has, which is just a lot of fun, he can make the jump in touchdowns, but you might not, like you said, see it in gaudy. He may grab 5 touchdowns, and they may all be in the red zone. Like he could have 4 or 5 red zone touchdowns this year, and as your wide receiver 3 or 4, like you said, option 4 or 5, that's a pretty good year.
Before I answer, I just want to say this is 100% Andrew Sandejo in the profile picture. I respect that dedication, sir. That is
you're a real one, Donovan.
That is the last time the Browns won a playoff game. Anyway, Cedric Tillman, man. Okay, so it's already been noted that he came from a really simplistic college offense and he's coming to a complicated NFL one. So he has the physical tools. I think for him, his biggest deal was just being in the right place. And you saw those conflicts happen on the field a couple different times, whether it was Flacco or whether it was Watson. So to me, if Cedric can just be in the right place, he can certainly be a contributor. And to me, I would say that's more than he did last year. So that will definitely be a step forward.
Casey, you got an exercise for us?
Got a couple.
Okay.
So let's take a step back. We always talk through the Browns ad nauseum, but we also pay attention to what's going on in the rest of the league. So tonight we're going to do our way too early season-ending award predictions. We're going to start at MVP. Who do you guys think is going to be the regular season MVP of the NFL?
You know, sometimes you kind of, I always think it's funny too, because I was like, final preseason preview show. We're just doing what we're doing.
Let's be real. Let's be real about the game. Okay.
It starts at 10.
It starts at 10 o'clock. There's the starters are going to play. They're going to play, but it's going to be minimal. I hope it's a bunch of young dudes anyway getting their opportunities for 3/4 of that game. The score is irrelevant. The only thing that's relevant is leaving that bitch as healthy as you entered it.
Stay healthy. I don't want the starters on offense or defense to look clunky.
Yeah. We both submitted things that they're going to be in print tomorrow, so we won't go spoiler what we said, but it's Get in, get out, baby.
Get in,
I'm
get
not,
out.
I'm not worried about.
Okay, regular season MVP. So a lot of times when I do these exercises, I like to have a little bit of fun with it, maybe be a little less predictable, but also like,
Take a shot, but have a reason why you're taking the shot.
right.
You know what
I
I
don't
mean?
want to be like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be like Nick Chubb, because it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's like I don't.
He might win one of these categories though.
Could win
Just
one.
saying, a little foreshadowing.
So I'm trying to think.
This-
I'm trying to think. Who do I think wins like the number one seed? You know what I mean? Like, because a lot of times,
Usually it'd be a quarterback who's got the best record in the league, or is just so statistically ahead of everyone else that it's
I don't know why, and maybe this is crazy, but give me Christian McCaffrey.
All right, there we go. A non-quarterback. The last time a non-quarterback won MVP would be.
I don't know.
I'm going back. I'm going in the way back.
That I don't know.
Someone in the chat might know, but maybe LaDainian.
It's probably
It's been a long ass time.
say last
Non-quarterback MVP.
Um,
Adrian Peterson, 2012.
It was Adrian Peterson. Yeah.
Look at this.
What a year!
You've always got it. Okay. So did you hear his guess, Nick?
Yes, I did.
MVP? Okay. Who are you coming with?
I'm biased, and because I'm sipping a lot of green Kool-Aid, but my regular season MVP is Jordan Love.
Whoa. Okay.
I just think he's.
That's not chalky.
No, I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
It's not chalky.
I just think that Matt LaFleur is such a good coach. Their offense has so many weapons across it. Like, I don't know if Tucker Kraft or if I wanted to call him Jake Ferguson, but it's not Jake Ferguson. It is I'm trying to think of the other Green Bay tight end.
So who'd you say the first one again? Who'd you say?
Tucker Kraft's one of them. The other one lacerated his kidney last year. I can't remember his name. Luke Musgrave?
Yep, you nailed it.
Luke Musgrave.
Good job,
okay,
buddy.
so Tucker Kraft, Luke Musgrave, you got 4 wide receivers that are all young. You signed Josh Jacobs, you got Marshawn Lloyd. It's just like weapons are everywhere on that offense. And I just think they are primed to be a great offense, and Jordan Love take that next step after he really impressed people last year. And that could definitely lead to him being like just ascending and being like, oh my God, the next in the line of great Green Bay quarterbacks, and he wins MVP in the way that Rodgers and I think Favre won an MVP as well.
Favre had 2.
Favre won 2.
So
Rodgers
they both
3.
Wow. Yep. So what a real task it is to be a Green Bay Packer fan.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
quarterback purgatory.
Dude, I'm gonna be so pissed because I have a couple of buddies I went to high school with, and I probably went kindergarten through high school with these guys, and one of which is still one of my best friends to this day, and they're Packers fans. And I remember when I remember telling them that Favre was retiring, and then a tear in their eyes, and then they just start the Aaron Rodgers, and they're just like, yeah. And then they're like, oh, Rodgers is leaving. Oh my God. And then the season's, because it started out a little rough for Jordan Love and in Green Bay as in general. And then you get to the back half and I'm just like, this is fucking bullshit. I am so sick of this.
Yep.
With them just getting quarterback after quarterback, 3 straight. If he really does this, if he becomes an MVP, a caliber quarterback for an extended period of time,
they've got all the weapons to do it, all of them that you could ask for. Anyway, I'll step off the Packers soapbox for a second. What's our next award, Casey?
Well,
you have an award.
I got to give you mine.
Sorry.
And I don't want to go chalky here. I already gave my playoff predictions last night in the seedings. So I can't go. I don't think Purdy is going to be an option. I can't. And even though I picked the Browns to get the number 1 seed in the AFC, I can't imagine the season that Deshaun would have to get the votes. It would have to be so historic. And I don't think that's what we're in for. So I'm going to pivot. I'm going to stand inside the same division that Nick is. And I'm going to give you Jared Goff.
Oh, baby.
I think Jared Goff turns in a crazy ass statistical season, and based on their seeding, he gets it.
They've got the weapons too.
They do. They'll be exciting. That division is exciting. It's top heavy, but it's exciting. You also have the number 1 pick coming in, so it should be a fun division this year. The next one, we're going to go to one that we're pretty familiar with. It's Coach of the Year. Who do you guys foresee getting Coach of the Year in 2024? Also, this is just for the audience. I gave these guys zero indication that we're doing any of these things, so they're making this up as they go.
Yes, we are.
There was no prior thought going in, so.
Sean McVay.
There we go.
And this is funny because I pick an MVP in that same division, but I really like the Rams this year. Like,
they made the playoffs for me. I think they're a playoff team.
And I'm not in my mind a wild card team because I have San Fran winning that division. But
I have been winning. They're the number 1 seed for me in the NFC.
Which, if I was seeding them, I would probably put them number 1. But I think McVay I think you get healthy Cooper Kupp, you get healthy Puka Nacua. I think Matt Stafford. There's been a lot of Matt Stafford hate the last year or so, and
there's a decent amount. I know one. I know a hater.
Yeah, we know one.
I know Matt Stafford doesn't care for the man. I know that.
Not like that man at all. He never
overrated.
But I don't know, man. I just got a feeling that McVay he puts together a really good run this year.
There's a couple choices to pick from, but I think I'm gonna go with Shane Steichen.
Ooh, that's it. Look at you.
Ooh, I don't hate that. I do not hate that.
Like Anthony Richardson, man, they draft AD Mitchell. They've already got Pittman and Jonathan Taylor. Like the Colts were a dropped 3rd down pass, 4th down pass away from making the playoffs with Gardner Minshew. Man, I think they're cooking over there in Indianapolis. And the Browns got gifted that win at the end. Thank you. I never thought I'd say thank you to the refs. But the Colts are better than I think a lot of people think. And they'll probably be one of those teams that could easily exceed expectations, and everyone will be like, wow, the Colts. I think it's
Okay.
Going for the vibes king. I'm going with a Mick, but a different Mick. I'm going Mike McDaniel, Miami Dolphins.
I was going to say that.
My man down in South Beach rocking tracksuits looking like a Coke dealer. Big, thick collared glasses. Dude,
I love that dude.
Cocaine kingpin.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
Man,
if
Mike
I was a
McDaniel.
football coach, I would be Mike McDaniel.
For the record, I almost went 2 as my MVP too. I think they're going to have a very good statistical year. I think they're going to be that team that's viewed as a regular season juggernaut type team.
Yeah.
That has trouble in the playoff.
Especially in cold weather. Yeah.
The Dolphins are so they lost a lot of their guys on defense, right?
Yes.
So the offense is going to have to compensate. Tua led the league in passing yards last year, did he not?
Yes, and passer rating. But they've literally assembled the fastest team to ever play in the NFL.
Right.
Not hyperbole. They're they are literally, they could have a 4x4 team. Mm-hmm. They could send one that could compete with anybody between Hill, Waddle, A-Chain, and Mostert. Dude, they are dumb fast.
Is Tua
and then they go get Jalen Wright. They are dumb fast.
This is totally off topic.
They got Anthony Schwartz chilling on a practice squad. That's how fast they are.
You don't
even talk about this guy, but he's fast, right? That's all they've done. They just assembled badass American speed.
Mostert and A-Chain, man.
He's fast.
Yeah, he's fast. Put him on the team.
Last night, Demetric Felton had a rushing touch. I just saw this from our friend Mac the Buffalo. He had a rushing touchdown. It's his first rushing touchdown of his career at any point.
Yeah, he was screens for us.
This was his first rushing touchdown?
Screens, yeah.
Well, I trust Mac the Buffalo, and that's what he said.
Wow.
Yeah, there were screens. He scored 2 touchdowns for us, and they were both on screen plays.
I remember that epic spin in the same game Baker got injured against the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Demetric took that one and got to the end zone.
That's when he looked like he was going to be fun. He was going to be a lot of fun.
He good.
And then
I just want to ask you both: is it like the least talked about leading passer?
yeah.
Is Tua Tagovailoa?
A lot of people, I would say casual fans wouldn't even realize he led the league because that's how
that's
little it's
insane
talked about.
to lead the league in passing and just like be as like I remember the general reaction to Tua getting paid. It was not positive outside of Miami.
And I mean,
No, it's because we've muddied the waters, though. We've made the term system quarterback like a bad thing. It's like so he's a perfect fit for what they do, though.
you win games,
Yep.
a lot of them.
Yep.
I don't know that you can say that what he is bad if he's winning a lot of games.
Is Miami the betting favorite to win the AFC East?
Probably not. Probably, if I had to guess, it'd be the Bills, just because they built up so much goodwill.
Actually, I think it just changed.
Could it be the Jets?
I think it changed to the Jets. Let me look.
That's weird. That's weird.
A lot of faith in
AFC.
40-something-year-old Aaron Rodgers.
That's the East, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just saw this earlier that it changed today.
Interesting.
I know that Josh Allen is the favorite for MVP.
It is. It is the Bill. It is the Jets.
It is the Jets.
So if you go right now, this is interesting. If you go right now to FanDuel, the Jets are plus 155, the Bills are plus 175, the Dolphins are plus 240.
Third in the division.
I have them winning it. I think the Dolphins win that division.
Interestingly enough, if you're looking for a total outlier, the Patriots are plus 2,400.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Yeah, no, I'm not putting any money on that. But like, if you're just like, you got $5 extra and you're like, fuck it.
All right, boys. Defensive player of the year. Can you fight your homerisms? Because I know what your brains are thinking right now.
Okay. What'd you say?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Can you fight your homerisms?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Your defensive player of the year. I know what everyone's thinking.
I'll give an answer that's not homerism.
I know what everyone's thinking.
My defensive player is Nick Bosa.
There we go.
Nick Bosa, because I think so Ayuk's missed the entirety of camp. So if he is a 49er, he's at risk of soft tissue injuries. Ricky Pearsall has also been injured. So that, I mean, they still got a great offense, but Christian McCaffrey is also dealing with a calf thing, right? So maybe the defense has to carry the offense a little more than in the past, and maybe that allows Nick Bosa to shine. I think it could be Nick's time.
Oh, Micah Parsons.
Micah.
That makes sense.
I was reading something.
Interesting.
Myles Garrett, bitches.
Whoa, bang.
So you ask us if we
I scared you off the spot, dude. If you're standing with your convictions.
Can you imagine if the wars
that getting number one seed? If you are the team with the number one seed, you're going to get an accolade. And who are they more likely to give the accolade to? Is it going to be Deshaun? Or are they going to give Stefanski 3 straight? It's going to be Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett getting that 2-piece cemented legacy, lead the league in sacks.
I do agree with that. I don't think they will rush to credit Deshaun for anything.
Dude, he would have to throw for 6,000 yards to get MVP.
Like break.
They're going to be so hesitant.
Peyton Manning's touchdown record, right?
Yeah, he's going to throw for 57 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like literally, he would have to get the credit. He could have an MVP type season and finish like 6th in MVP because they don't want to give him the credit.
That's why he needs a guy like Jameis in his room, man.
Damn straight. The best sounding board he could ever have. All right. Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Caleb. I stuck to my guns that whole way through there. Caleb's special, man. I know the people want to call him weird, different, odd, whatever they want to. They don't like that he paints his fingernails or whatever it is you don't like. I don't give a shit. That dude can play the game. Like, I can't remember who it was I saw saying this. It was somebody in the national media. They talked about how, people were going to start trying to emulate Patrick Mahomes and start playing the game like Patrick Mahomes. That's what Caleb Williams does. He plays the game the way Patrick Mahomes. I'm not putting him on Mahomes' level yet because he hasn't taken a snap, a regular season snap. But when I watch him and his ability to create out of structure and create in chaos, that dude's the real fucking deal, man. Like, he will be the single season Bears pass leader, passing yardage leader as a rookie. He will throw for 4,000 yards.
That's going to make
had one.
That's going to make his case really good for offensive rookie of the year. So, full disclosure, I'm between Jaden Daniels and Marvin Harrison Jr.
I just worry Jaden gets hurt.
I'm a big Kyler Murray believer. So I'm going to pick Marvin Harrison Jr.
Look at you.
I think if Marvin is open, even if he's not, Kyler will find him. Kyler's good, man. Nobody talks about how good Kyler is. The Cardinals are in good hands. Kyler's 26. They just paired him with that. That is a duo that is going to put up numbers. So if Marvin Harrison puts up some kind of crazy, now it will be hard coming off Puka's.
Well, that's my whole thing is if Puka didn't win it last year, how the hell do you win it and not be a quarterback? Because that was historical. And I'm not saying Stroud wasn't good. Stroud was clearly a good quarterback.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything historical. What records did he set? None. Puka's out there, but
did he not?
But Marvin Harris is dominant.
Did CJ Stroud not break Justin Herbert's rookie touchdown record?
No.
Wow, I don't think he did. He missed. You got to remember, he missed a couple games.
True. Yeah, he got concussed.
He wasn't on pace to break that record either way.
Okay.
He was good. He was very good. He's a tremendous talent. I got
a PSA.
I'm not trying to take away from him at all.
I got a PSA. I almost forgot about it. There are a lot of dogs out there that need homes. If you are considering adopting a shelter dog, adopting a dog from a rescue, I say you should absolutely do it. Go to use Pet Finder, go find your local shelter, and man, dogs deserve fucking everything. That's my PSA.
That's a great PSA.
I love it.
I expect us to be wholesome tonight. That's awesome.
Yeah.
The Homage is selling a shirt in tribute to Swagger Jr. right now. And a portion of every one of those sales goes to the Cuyahoga County Animal Shelter, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry if I said that wrong, but they're donating to an animal cause with those sales.
So, there'll be a link in the description of this show if you guys want to donate towards that.
And I want to say, let's pull the curtain back real quick. We sold our first shirt with Homage as 3 of us the other day since we started this, and it meant a lot to us because sometimes you take it for granted that it's so easy, and maybe not all the time it is, right? So the fact that somebody bought a shirt from us means a lot to us. We're going to keep putting stuff out there, and we're going to have giveaways too. So thank you.
I'm in a weird spot here, boys.
Okay.
I think Caleb's going to win it. I don't like Caleb like Jacob likes Caleb, but I can't give the same answer either way because Jacob gave the answer, and I'm not doubling up. So I got to pick something different. But I do think it's going to be a quarterback because that's what this league is now. This league isn't who's the best player. If it's who's the best quarterback on the best team, or that's what it's become, right? I'm going to go Jaden Daniels. I'm going Daniels.
Okay.
I can't do Bo Nix. I can't do Penix.
Well, I thought you might just throw Bo Nix out there just for funsies, and so
I can't. I don't understand Sean Payton. I don't like Sean Payton. I don't even know why I don't like Sean Payton. I didn't like Kevin James's portrayal of Sean Payton. So I can't back anything that the man does. But I think they'll be. I still think that that's probably a 5-win team, Broncos. I think the Bears will probably win 7 or 8. The Caleb will be exciting. I have less hope that he will be great long term. I agree. He's amazing out of structure. I also know that can't be your A game. That can't be your plan A. And unless he develops the other stuff in the pocket to allow that stuff to be the trump card, he'll be exciting. But I've seen Randall Cunningham. I've seen players come in the league and be exciting and do other things. But if you can't win within structure, it's going to be tough long term. So Jaden Daniels, a pure crash test dummy. But he'll be exciting. He'll be exciting until he gets pilled off the field. So that's my shot.
Until Roman Reigns returns and spears him.
You know what I'm saying? Something's going to happen. He's in car crashes. Defensive Rookie of the Year. This one's wide open, boys.
Leatu Latu.
Yeah. I think he has a strong chance to lead the rookies in sacks, and that's the equivalent of a quarterback. If you're in this kind of award. So I'm going to give an answer that's going to piss everyone off.
Okay.
Peyton Wilson, linebacker, Pittsburgh Steelers. He might lead the league in tackles. He just might lead the league in tackles.
Average depth of target of tackle too, maybe. But
dude, the people don't follow the game. They're going to be like, this dude led the league in tackles as a rookie. He's hurt right now. He's going to be hurt a lot. That's who he is. But he's also – I don't think he's going to be in the league long, but he's going to be a dude who just racks them up.
He doesn't have an ACL in one of his knees.
And you can get him for 35 if you want to bet on that. You can get it plus 3,500 on him right now.
So,
Cooper DeJean's got the same odds, by the way. He's a wild card because he might score defensive touchdowns, which would put him in that, but he's going to have a harder path to playing.
I know this is boring, but I think I echo Latu just because people go crazy over sacks more than anything. And if you're the rookie sack leader, it feels like a good way to win Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yep, I agree.
You know, you can get Nick Chubb as Comeback Player of the Year at plus 1,500.
And that's the perfect segue to our last award of the evening right there. Who is the Comeback Player of the Year?
I was just looking at let me look.
He's the top-rated non-quarterback, if I had to guess, right? As far as odds go?
Yes.
Yeah, makes sense. Also, a quarterback award if you have one that's eligible.
He's 5. He is 5. There are 4 quarterbacks ahead of him.
So Watson's probably 8, 6, 7, 8.
11.
Jesus.
He was 6.
All right. So my top 4, if I had to guess, you're saying they're all quarterbacks.
They are.
All right. Joe Burrow.
Number 2.
Okay. I'm just saying my top 4. I'm okay. Not in the newer. Anthony Richardson.
Number 4.
Okay. Aaron Rodgers.
Number 1.
Who's the last one? Kirk Cousins.
Kirk O'Chains, baby, number 3.
Number 3. And then it's Chubb, Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, Kyler Murray, J.K. Dobbins, Tank Dell, Deshaun Watson.
Darnold and Jones are ahead of Watson.
Oof.
Make it make sense, man.
Yeah.
But who's your boy's choice? And I this is the one I welcome Homer answers on.
All right. Well, I'm not going to give you a Homer answer because I already told you I'm a firm believer in Shane Steichen. So I'm going to give you Anthony Richardson.
All right.
It just feels right to me. Unfortunate, but true. In my mind.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. And I'm going to take the guy that's at that you can get at plus 4,500.
Jesus.
Justin Herbert.
Ooh.
Oh, man. That would be fun. Because everybody thinks they're just going to run the crap out of the ball.
Yeah, they got J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. Like, you really going to think you're going to win games running the football with those two?
I don't know.
Like they're going to. I think that J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards can have a lot of success playing off of Justin Herbert throwing the ball.
But, like, your receiving core is Josh Palmer and Ladd McConkey. Oh, and DJ
Quentin
Chark, if
Johnson.
that's
Quentin
your
Jefferson or Quentin Johnson.
I've already wrote him off.
A lot of people have.
Hayden Hurst.
A
Hayden Hurst
rookie that was not a finished product from TCU, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, he wasn't ready to play."
Yeah.
He had Max Duggan as a quarterback, and we were all surprised that he needed some time to develop.
The Chargers just cut Max Duggan.
So
this is my plea to Greg Roman. You could trade for Tyler Huntley if you want a better backup than Easton Stick.
I still
Just saying.
can't. The whole Easton Stick thing, I can't.
I love saying his name. He's always my example of how bad it is when you have to start quarterbacks in this league. If they think they started 65 in the league last year, and he's always the one I point to. Easton Stick started games in the NFL last year.
I really like. You know what? If you really want to go out on a limb, you can get plus 15,000 for Trevon Diggs.
I just want to say, because Connie's here asking about comeback players, Connie was the one who bet on Kevin Stefanski being coach of the year last year when we recommended it and hit off of that. So Connie, we love you. Hope you enjoyed that hit. I don't know if you bet on Joe Flacco to be comeback player of the year or not. Those were also like
she had 2 winning tickets on Stefanski, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And she held out and cashed.
Good for you. Good for you.
Huge win. Big win for the brand right there, boys.
Big win for the brand.
All right. My comeback player of the year. It's Nicholas Jamal Chubb.
Yeah.
He's the one non-quarterback that everyone will rally around.
Yeah.
He's the one guy on our team that everyone loves league-wide. He will get, if he comes back, it'll be such a feel-good story, especially when he runs the ball down the Steelers' throat.
And they'll want to give him more credit than Watson, no matter what. So,
boom. Our Lord and Savior, Nicholas Jamal Chubb. Exercise is over, boys. We just did it. We solved the case.
Okay.
I got our answers written down, attributed to who said what. So flowers will be given. And if we're wrong, we'll never talk about it ever again. It'll just be like it never happened.
No. I usually don't even go back and check. Like, we'll do these things, we'll make these predictions and do these shows, and I'll just go, nah. I don't even
I'm just looking for the Browns to win the division. And also, I recently decided that Cleveland was going to sweep the Steelers this year. So that I hold firm on that one.
Yeah.
Because they play them at home. Let's go. Let's go, Connie. That's good for the brand.
Connie's the real MVP, boys.
Connie is the real MVP.
I think you get some tickets to a good game.
Like, okay.
She actually went up and watched practice this week and gave me notes. She
did.
Yeah. She did the thing.
Hell yeah.
If the Browns sweep the Steelers in the middle of the season, it will most likely end Pittsburgh's playoff hopes and solidify the Browns as a playoff contender. And I feel like hosting them Thursday night and then going there 2 weeks later is the perfect formula.
You're getting me all hot and bothered.
I think it is. I think this is. When's the last time the Browns swept the Steelers? Like 1980 something.
Yeah, we didn't even sweep them in '89. We opened up with them in '89 and beat them 52-0 in the season opener, and then got beat by them later in the year. Make it make sense.
That's
you know what I mean.
I think it's '88 if I'm not mistaken.
It's a long time ago.
It's '88.
They were terrible. Mark Malone was their quarterback. I remember it though. So
that's my all right. So let's end the show on this. I want your one hot take for the Browns season. My hot take is that Cleveland sweeps the Steelers for the first time since 1988. There it is. Boom. You didn't know, we didn't know this was coming. You didn't know this was coming, Casey.
Yeah. I know you a little pivot, a little counterpunch. I think they put together 2 separate 4-game winning streaks this year.
That's hot. A month of winning?
Twice. They'll do
twice.
They'll win 4 in a row on 2 different occasions.
That's hot. I love it.
Oh, I've gone back and forth between this, and I think right now I'm a little too far one way.
Spice me up, Jacob. Spice me up.
The single season touchdown pass record will be broken.
What is it?
He has to throw 31. Is that correct?
30, I think. I don't think they've ever had. No, I think
no.
The record
Sipe threw 30. So is it 31's the record then?
31.
touchdowns. Very good.
31 touchdown passes from a core.
I believe he
Brown.
threw 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns in, in 79.
What a life we'd be living. If the Sean
All-time
Payton-
passing leaders. Oh, that's scoring leader. That's not what I want. Fuck you guys.
Football database is dope. That's what you're on, right?
Yeah.
It's in there.
Passing. No, I want single season passing. I think you're right. I want.
That's usually what we find out when we look stuff
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, it's Brian Sipe had 30, so he'll throw at least 31.
Damn.
Strong, son.
I'm ready.
Strong, son.
I'm ready. All right.
Love
Let's start with 2 against Dallas. 2? I'll
Okay.
take 2. No problem. Let's do 2.
Whatever you got to do.
Because then you're on a 34 pace, right? 17 games?
Yep.
34.
You got it.
Cool. We're on pace.
I'll
I
get
want
it.
2
I'll get it.
touchdowns. 2. That's it.
I'll get
All
3.
I'm asking for is 2. You
I
can
got
do
3 week 1. 3.
it. We get. Let's get 3. Right?
Let's get
Dan
wild.
Quinn's gone. Now let me tell you something. Before Dan Quinn got to Dallas, the Cowboys defense was struggling. Dan Quinn was credited for turning that defense around, similar to how Jim Schwartz is credited in Cleveland for turning the defense around. What is the Cowboys defense going to look like without Dan Quinn? We don't know. Could Deshaun throw 3 touchdowns week 1? I hope we can circle back to this episode.
I got one last question, though.
Yes.
Can Amari score touchdowns on both of his former teams this year?
Whoa.
Look at the
Big time.
storylines, man. They make themselves.
Big time. Yes.
They write themselves, brother.
Yes.
They write themselves.
Yes. The answer is yes.
I like
Yep.
your answer.
Awesome personal news coming soon, I think.
Casey? Yes?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Of course.
This has been such a fun. You know what? Thank you to everybody who supported us. Please consider clicking that subscribe button on YouTube. We want to give away this Browns jersey. We're going to give it away to 1,000 subscribers. And we know as Brown season comes close here, even without sexy preseason, you're still here. So thank you to everybody who's given us your time. It's the most valuable thing you can give to everyone. We love you pursuing a dream here, and you're helping make it possible. So thank you. With that being said, this has been our final preseason preview. Holy moly. Of the Barking Brown Show. I'm Nick. He's Jacob. That's Casey. Go Browns.
Yeah.
Go Browns.